Hey folks, Curly Chronicles here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're returning and if you're new, I would like to say thanks for clicking. Today, we're doing a bit of a garden side chat, I guess. I'm going to call these garden side chats. I like that. And the video today is about aging gracefully, or as I like to say, aging with purpose. I think aging gracefully is a more popular phrase, and my goal with this video is for it to reach those who it may help or benefit in some way, shape, or form. And so I think aging gracefully is a little bit more popular, so I'm going to go with that in the title. But I think it's different from aging with purpose. We'll get into that. We're going to talk about what aging with purpose is, how it differs from aging gracefully, in my very humble opinion, what insecurities I've had from the teens all the way up until my 30s. I'm almost 40. I just turned 39 this past May. So I'm already like getting closer to 50, and it's amazing, and I have no qualms about it. I really don't. I'm excited about the wisdom that I'm going to continue obtaining as I get older. And so a lot of times you have to change your perspective. So we're going to talk about some of the insecurities that I had and how I was able to kind of battle those a bit. And I hope that it's helpful to someone out there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So what is aging with purpose? You know, when you take the word purpose, you just go by the definition in the dictionary. I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I got it right. The reason for which something exists or is done or created, etc. You get what I'm saying. So when you're talking about aging with a purpose, you're aging with intention. And so you have an intention behind the process of growing older, and there's certain things that you may want to do or be mindful of as you age, because doing those things and having those particular behaviors will help you later on in life. And so, for example, I started working out in my mid-20s. I've even competed in some fitness competitions. If you'd like me to do a little recap on my fitness competitor experience, I'd be happy to do so. Let me know down below. But I started working out because I wanted to make sure that I had some muscle mass, and I was always a lanky kid, and so I was like, I'm going to start working out. So I started working out, and I started to go, this is going to help me a lot when I grow older, so I'm just going to keep it going. And so I don't work out as much now, but I worked out for years to get stage ready, and I competed, and I think I competed in just 2 shows, just 2. And it's not for long term. It really isn't. We'll talk about that in the fitness competition video, but it's not long term. But I noticed that I was like, all of this is going to help me decades from now. And so I really wanted to make sure that I was doing all that I can to age in a way to where I would feel good physically, mentally, spiritually as I got older. And so that is the reason why yoga, meditation, working out, those are all very important to me. So if you have an intention with your aging, then that means you have to have certain behaviors that kind of marry with those intentions, right? So that is why I like the phrase aging with purpose. Aging gracefully is a phrase we all know, but it really was superficial for me. It always meant you don't look like the old crow that you actually are. Like, it just was like this weird compliment, sort of. It's like, you're 60? Oh my God. Oh my God, you are? You look like you're 40. It's like, but what is it? What if I do look 60? What does that mean? And is that terrible? No, it's not. It's fine to look 60. It's fine to look 70. You have been on this planet acquiring information, learning and loving life, learning, and you're learning about yourself, you're learning about others, you're learning about things that you've never known anything about. You are caring for others, you're being of service to the world. There's so much to growing and being in the world outside of looking cute when you're 60, and so it's great to look cute when you're 60, don't get me wrong, that's wonderful, but that's not all there is. So when there's a purpose behind something, you're going to feel fed in your heart, in your soul, right? So you owe it to yourself to have a purpose and to have intentions that you hold near and dear to your heart as you continue to, grow older as we walk the earth. Is aging with purpose different from aging gracefully? I believe it is, and it goes back to that intention. I don't always hear the intention when people say, oh my God, you're aging so gracefully. It's just that you're cute. When you ever see someone who is like 70 something years old and they're just so, they have so much is it vivacity? They're just so full of life. And it's not just that they don't even have to look younger. They could look like a 75, 85-year-old, but their soul, you can tell there's a purpose behind that person. They didn't just give up and just sit on the couch, order takeout, and watch Matlock all day. They're loving life still. They have all these different things that, they're interested in. They have purpose. And so it comes from not just wanting to do the things to make sure you look good, but making sure that you spiritually are feeling at peace with yourself. Does it really matter if you're hot at age 70? If you feel worthless and valueless in the world, like you have nothing to contribute to society, like you have no reason to be here, it doesn't feel very good. And there are people who are beautiful who don't feel like they have much of a purpose. So it's important to work on that. Insecurities that I have had, that I've worked on for years, decades, since my teens. I'm going to share this because it's just really funny to me. But my grandmother, may she rest in peace, referred to them as mosquito bites. It's just like, Grandma. At the time, I was like, oh my God, Grandma. But yeah, it's kind of funny. And she's not the reason for why I even have insecurities with them. They're just smaller. And I was just like, and my insecurities come from conditioning. It's societal conditioning. And I was 15 at the time. They were just growing in. Sort of. But not really, because they were small. I was always a small B cup, large A cup. I don't even know if there is such a thing. But they were always a source of insecurity for me. And I definitely wanted a boob job. When I was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, I was like, yeah, I want to get a boob job. But what happened for me was I decided that I would always be very methodical about decisions that were pretty big, pretty monumental for me. So I would sit on it and say, I'm not going to just make a brass decision. I'm going to think about this. Let me think about it for a year and see how I feel. And I would do that a couple of times. Like, let me think about it for another year. And every year I would be like, if I had them, would my life be drastically different? I don't think so. My life is good. I like my life. It's fine. I'm not that insecure about them like I thought I was. And so time helps. Time is definitely something that will help. If you can get off social media for a couple months and just kind of exist in a world where you're not seeing bodies that are tweaked and faces that are face-tuned and bodies that are face-tuned. I mean, there's a lot going on. You start to see humanity for what it is. You see real bodies out and about. You see real people in front of you. You look in the mirror, you see your body, and you just start to go, okay, this is all very normal. See, it looks normal when you stare at people online all day long and everybody looks perfect. They look normal. You don't look normal. You got to flip the script. So that helped me out a lot. Getting off of social media. I didn't delete it. I just removed the app and just said, I'll come back later. And I stopped. Like, you'll see gaps in some of my social media feeds where I was gone for a year. I was gone from Instagram for like a year. And it's like, she posted, the last post was December? It's August. What? Yes, that's why I was like, I don't know if I need to be on here right now. And it just helped me a lot to see more normalcy, because we're not seeing that online. So that helped me a lot. My boobs were like my biggest insecurity because they were just really small, and they still are. But I also felt like I had big feet. There wasn't much I could do about that. My hair, I wasn't very, I was a little insecure about my hair because when I first went natural, you're trying to figure it out. And so that was an insecurity. My skin was, not so great, luckily you can get certain medications and things, but, and so that's an example. Like, my acne, if you can fix your acne, it's okay to fix your acne. I'm not saying you need to stick with every insecurity that you have. I think that you need to pick and choose which ones are more important, which ones are ones that you can kind of go, oh, okay, that's not a big deal. Let me just push that to the side. It's not a big deal, and it's not that bad. I'm still cute, Have a mantra, too. I have a mantra You probably have heard me say it. It's ... but I'm still cute. I will have a breakout and I'm like, oh, skin is not looking good. It's a little jacked up this week, but I'm still cute. Oh, I just, this shirt, I don't know. This shirt is not, maybe, like I wish they were more, curved at the top, but I'm still cute. And so that was my mantra for me when I had these moments. And I was like, I'm still cute. I still look nice. I still can get dolled up and be cute. And people will still tell me that I look very nice today. They'll still tell me I look pretty. And so that was just what I told myself. And over time, there were things that I just stopped caring about. I stopped caring about having smaller as opposed to normal size chest. I stopped caring about that. Stopped caring about my feet being big because I'm only 5'5" and I wear size 9, and I just feel like they look bigger to me when I'm like staring at them. My skin was the thing that I was like, I need to work on my skin. It is a source of insecurity for me, and I don't feel good. So that was the thing for me that I chose. And you have to figure out for yourself, what is that thing that is the most important thing that you need to really change? And if you have one or two things, it's, that's life, and it's okay. I don't want people to think that I'm anti-surgery or anything like that, because I'm really not. I really just prefer that people, for the newer surgeries and procedures, I would hope that people take more time to see what happens after that surgery, 5 years after, 10 years after, because we don't always know what the complications could be. I mean, there's a show dedicated to helping women recover and heal from botched procedures. I don't remember if it's K. Michelle. Tell me down below if it's K. Michelle. Is it K. Michelle? I think. I'm not sure. But the whole show exists because these women got these procedures done, and there was a lot of things that could happen years down the road. Fibrosis is something that happens when you get lipo done, where you can get like scar tissue underneath the skin. And so if you don't know that that's a possibility, and pretty common at that, if you don't do certain things, like I think you have to get certain massages or things like that. I'm not very well versed in this area, but from what I've seen, you have to kind of get certain massages to kind of make sure you're breaking up that tissue and it heals properly. But if you don't know that because it just came out last year, then you may have that complication, and then you're kind of just stuck, dealing with trying to fix that later on, as opposed to, I got the surgery and now I'm good because I fixed the thing I was insecure about. Now you have to worry about fixing the thing that comes after you've had the surgery and the procedure. So that's why with surgeries, I just like to make sure that they've been out for some years, preferably 20 years, if we can have a 20-year, trial and that's the thing that sucks. Who's going to be the guinea pig? I don't want people to think I'm anti-surgery or anything like that. I just prefer that people are as careful as you can be. Just be as careful as you can be, because you can't come back from it. And there are women who are featured on the show who just, it's so heartbreaking. They're like, I just want my old butt back. I just want my old boobs back. I don't even wear bikinis anymore. I don't even go to the beach and wear bathing suits because this was botched and it looks so bad that I cannot go outside in a bikini without crying. And that is what I hope to prevent with this video, because you just don't know sometimes how things are going to go. And so I'd rather you just be safer than sorry. Better safe than sorry. That's always what I say. Sit with yourself, weigh things objectively, not from an emo state, but from a very objective state. See if you can take time to see what that procedure looks like, any complications, and anything that could arise 5, 10, 15, 20 years later down the road. And get off social media if you can, because it absolutely is a factor in you not feeling like you are complete or you are perfect. It is. You're seeing so much that is not true, that's not there, it's not real. The lighting, face tuning the body, all of that, it's not real. And so if you can get to a place where you're not on social media and you're just looking at regular people all day, every day on, out in the world, or, at the job, at the supermarket, in the mirror, you're seeing a true body. You're not, see, when we look at ourselves on our phones, we're looking at pictures that we've manipulated of ourselves. So you might have did a little nip tuck here. You probably got rid of that pimple. Your skin is smoother. That's not healthy either. I would say get rid of the apps that are constantly beckoning you to tweak your photos. And you know, if you can, there are people addicted to Facetune. If you are addicted to, if you can't post a picture without going into Facetune first, you may need to work on trying to kind of, you know, get away from that, getting yourself away from that, because it's got a strong hold on you. Nothing wrong with a little, you know, change the lighting to make sure it looks good. And you know, I'm not even against someone getting rid of a pimple in a picture, because the pimple's not going to be there in a week. It's going to be gone most likely. So I wouldn't even say that's terrible. But when they're like, you know, making this, if there was a picture of me, you seen this here, I'm very straight up and down. But if you saw a picture of me and all of a sudden my waist was just snatched like this, you'd be like, huh, no, she FaceTimed that. She Facetuned that picture. And it's not bad, but when you go back and look at that picture, you're going to be like, oh, I was so cute that day. What happened? And you're going to be, and it's not even going to, you're not even going to think about it. It's that crazy. You're going to be like, well, I gotta keep all my pictures looking uniform. So then that just, it's like a cycle. So if you can get away from that, that's great. I wanted to mention 2 articles that I thought might be helpful for people who may be struggling in this area. WebMD, they were talking about purpose, and that's where I got the definition. They said it's the reason for which something exists or is done or is created or whatever. So it talks about purpose a lot in there, and I think it's going to be something that's helpful for people, because if you don't find purpose as you age, you run the risk of being very depressed, and you might even pass away prematurely, because when you don't have a purpose, like, well, then why are you here? Like, you may not engage in behaviors that are going to uplift you and are going to get you out of the house. If you fall into a bit of a depression, you might stay inside. You may not eat well. You won't exercise. You won't get any vitamin D. It's a very interesting downward spiral. And so having purpose in your life is very important. There's also a Psychology Today article, 9 ways to find purpose as you age. And I'm going to link that below as well. I think that can be helpful to a lot of people. There's a lot more to life than being cute. So it's starting to rain a little bit. So I'm pretty good timing, because I'm done with the video. So I'm really glad that I could finally put this out, because I thought this is going to be my little gift to the world. I want to put this out for someone who it could help. So thanks so much for sitting and chatting with me, or listening to me. Thank you for just, you know, being a part of the conversation. And I hope you will join me for the next video. If you're new, again, feel free to subscribe and come back and hang out. I am an alternative homesteader, aspiring homesteader, I like to say, and gardener. I love to garden, and so I'm typically out here gardening and just kind of trying to build my simple life. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful to someone out there. If it was, please let me know down below. And if you're someone who's age 40 and up, and you have any wisdom that you can bestow upon the audience down below in the comment section, please put it down there. And I hope you'll join me for the next video. Feel free to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.